What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 96 of our Tracksuit to the Top series here with Lewis FC. And today, it's the biggest episode ever, guys. Champions League final, live against PSG. I am excited, nervous. Well, I don't really know how to feel. If we could hit 500 likes for this episode, that would be incredible. Share it around. I have no idea how this is going to go. I'm kind of having a meltdown internally, but somehow we find ourselves at a point here where, despite a disappointing end to the season, we could end it on the highest of highs. We're going to be taking on PSG. It's actually being played at the Stade Velodrome, Jack, in France. Massive game. You can see here, this is how we got to this stage. And next episode will be the end of season live, where we'll review the entirety of this year. But today, we're going to take a look at this Champions League campaign, because what a campaign it's been. We went through via the best place playoff stages, which was a tricky way to go through. We went through 7-5 on aggregate to Napoli. A 5-3 win in the first leg away from home really sealed the deal for us. Matthew Lewis with 2 goals in that game. Ihi Nacho grabbing 2 in the second leg. Juan Carlos Leon and Matthew Lewis grabbing the goals in the group stage in Group A. It was a tricky league to be in, really. 28 CSK, Moscow and Inter. Perhaps one of the kinder groups, but regardless, we performed well. We won all but one game, losing once to Inter Milan. And yeah, we did well there. We did very well. And of course, from that, we went into the knockout stages with a best place seeding, where we got drawn against Barcelona. And in perhaps one of the most memorable games of my Football Manager kind of existence, and bear in mind I've been playing this series for way over 10 years. We went through at an incredible turnaround. First leg of the first knockout round, we were lost 5-2 to Barcelona, and I thought at that point all hope was lost. However, in a dramatic second leg, we overturned the deficit to draw 5-5 and go through on away goals against Barcelona. Matthew Lewis, the man, the myth, the legend, grabbing a hat-trick. So that was an immense game. I'm not even sure what episode number that was now. You can probably find it if you missed it. I recommend watching that game. It was incredible live. In the next leg, we played Schalke. We won the first leg 1-0. Matthew Lewis again getting on the score sheet. Reitmeier, the former Schalke man, getting the Man of the Match award, was superb for us there. And then in the second leg, we saw things out with a fantastic 3-2 win. With Matthew Lewis missing a penalty and grabbing a goal in a very good, convincing performance, that one. And that saw us advance to the semi-final, where we came up against Manchester United, a team who had previously leapfrogged us in the league and went on to win the Premier League. They knocked us out in the FA Cup semi-final and went on to win that too. I was worried they were going to just steal any chance of silverware away from us in all competitions. However, after a fantastic win in the first leg, winning 3-2 away from home at Old Trafford, Matthew Lewis grabbing a hat-trick, we were able to see out the job, losing 2-1 on the night at home, but going through on away goals. So what a run this has been. What an incredible kind of competition. I can't believe that we've got as far as we have. Looking at it, massive credit has to go to Suarez with 7 assists. Matthew Lewis with 21 goals in this campaign so far, an average rating of 8.2. He's been massive for us. You can see in terms of games won, we've gone through so many stages. We have the players with the most games won, and we also have a lot of players who have played every game. You can see a Sonogo with 6 assists has also played every single game for us in this competition, which is really, really impressive. In terms of player matches, Matthew Lewis tied first. Pierre Cisse, actually, our former man, who we sold for 5 million, who looks probably worth more than a £5 million player now, but he was a good player for us back in the day, so kind of cool to see a familiar name up there. Eric Sonogo also covering the most distance, his hair definitely helping with that. So anyway, today we have the Champions League final. And what a game this is going to be. In terms of how we're going to do this, I think I'm going to pick my team here. I'm going to go through my team. So we're going to go with our 3 at the back system, I think, today, which is a bold move. If you don't know, we've been interchanging between this system that you can see here, a 4-3-1-2, and a 3-5-2. And to be honest, the 3-5-2s worked well against the medium, middle of the road teams and some of the other European teams, but we struggled against Manchester United with it. So we kind of had to come up with this secondary tactic. So that's what that is. in terms of our team, a few injuries to tell you guys about. Pedrera, of course, with a broken leg, is out. Juan Carlos Leon, back from injury, but not 100% fit, but I'm going to chance him today. Mitchell, the centre mid, injured. He won't play. Famika, also injured. That's a little bit disappointing, because we are missing a few players. But all in all, we have a very, very strong team at our disposal. We're not missing any of the massively, massively important players, which is kind of pleasing. We're in a situation where I don't want to say we've not got anything to lose, but given how the season's gone so far, I kind of feel like, I don't know, I feel like this game, if we lose it, then I'll feel hard done by, but at the same time it's an incredible run to go on, and it would kind of epitomise this entire season. If we can get a win here and win the Champions League, which is just feels ridiculous me saying it, it would just put us in such a great position for moving forward. It would be so unexpected, if I'm honest. I didn't expect us to get anywhere near the title at the start of this year. It's not something that was kind of on my, I guess, to-do list as something that, oh yeah, we're gonna do that this year. It wasn't even a consideration, and somehow we find ourselves in a situation where we've performed really well throughout the entire tournament. If we lose, I'll feel hard done by. If we win, then it's just going to be absolutely incredible. Now, unfortunately for us, we have got a few players injured and also a few players who weren't registered, so our team is a little bit here, there and everywhere. Paul Scholes is on the bench with an injection, so he can play if we need him to. So I think this is the team that I'm going to go with. Unfortunately for us, the injury to Pedrera hits us hard. I mean, I could start Eder. He's not done that. Oh, he's done quite well off the bench, to be fair. But then the other option is to... I'm going to go with the other option. I've changed my mind. I'm going to shift a few players around, and this is what we're going to play. I'm going to play the 3-4-1-2. It's a pretty strong side we have at our disposal. But PSG are not going to be an easy team to beat. So my team, Kouakou in goal. Ivory Coast international, massive player for us. Been at the club since we were in the Championship. Great year this year, one of his best performances in goal. An average rating of 7.25 for a goalkeeper is pretty impressive in FM. At the back, Harry Ann, one of the long-term servants at the club, 31 years old now. Been here a while. He's going to play £2 million well spent on him back in the day. At centre-back, we go with Reitmeier, 21 years old, German international. You can see here he's had a fantastic breakout season, really, this year. Started a lot of games, a 7.34 average rating for us. Of course, came big in the game against Schalke, his former club, in the quarter-finals. At right centre-mid, we go with Jores Akore. Of course, joined us on loan from Barcelona. He's had a good year this year on loan from us. Probably won't be renewing his loan, so this is his last kind of hoorah at the club, but a great player nevertheless. In the defensive midfielder role, we go with Batagelli, 28 years old, the Argentine centre mid. Joined us again a few years ago. £400,000 for this guy. Been worth every single penny. Due to a few injuries, he will start in the more defensive midfielder position. Alongside him in centre mid, we go with Juan Carlos Leon, the Mexican central midfielder, 22 years old. Been out for a long time with injury. You can see out for 4 weeks, and prior to that out for 5 weeks. Those injuries pretty much led into one another. So he's been out for about a total of 9 weeks, which is a big miss. 2 months without football. This is his return. Hopefully he can come big for us. At right mid, we go with Jean Carlos Martinez. Joined us for £10 million, the Colombian international. Shown a lot of promise and potential this year. You can see 6 goals and 6 assists, a 7.33 average rating for him. Out on the left, starting in an unusual position for him, we have Eric Sanogo. Would normally play the right midfield position, but today he's going to be playing out wide as a winger, a role that he's more than capable of playing in. As I mentioned, due to kind of the way we've had to shift our team around, Soares comes in to play advanced playmaker, a fantastic creative force in the midfield. The Brazilian came in for a very hefty price tag, our biggest transfer so far on this save at £22 million spent. This year, 12 goals and 7 assists in the league. He's more than made up for that, and in Europe he's been in fine form, getting 4 goals and 7 assists, so a key player in our European campaign. Playing just ahead of him as the complete forward, we have Alexander Haas, the German international. Again, another player who came in this year. Bit of pressure on him, perhaps, despite coming in on a free. He was the top earner at the club. He's repaid that. 15 goals, 9 assists, 2 player of the matches. He's done great this year. Delighted to have him at the club. and playing and leading the line, Matthew Lewis, looking for potentially his 75th goal of the season. If you could grab it today, that would be an incredible landmark to hit. But what an incredible season this man has had, single-handedly carrying us in the majority of the competitions we've played in. 41 goals, 10 assists, 9 player of the match. It's a 7.75 average rating just in the league. In Europe, 21 goals in 13. In total this year, he's had 60 appearances, 3 off the bench, 74 goals, 8 out of 9 penalties scored, 17 assists, 16 player of the matches. He's going to be a massive, massive player for us today, you'd feel. So that's the team. Pretty happy. On the bench, Lucas Barrios, the Argentine goalkeeper, comes in. He's been our standard second choice goalkeeper for a few years now. Alongside him, Paul Scholes, former Manchester United man, not the Paul Scholes, other Paul Scholes. Had a good kind of run out last time out when we played United, playing the fullback position for us. He's on the bench today despite having an injury. He's had an injury. He's had an injection, so he should be able to play today. Next we have Seaman on loan from Shakhtar Donetsk. Just a backup player, this guy, but he's there. He's been a useful player for us. Got a few big goals. Got one in the Barcelona 5-2 away defeat. But of course that goal did prove very, very important in the end. Elsewhere, Eder joined us in January from Brazil. He's been okay for us. He's done fairly well on off the bench a few times, but he's there if we need him. China, another Brazilian, joined us a few years ago on a free transfer. Been a great player for us. Considering his options at the moment, I'd love to see him stay this year. A 7.23 average rating for him. Not contributed a ton in terms of goals and assists, but he's been vital nevertheless. Kelechi Iheanacho, a long-term serving player, been here since we were in the Championship. Slowed down on the goals in recent years, but this year he's got some big goals for us in Europe. You can see 4 appearances in this competition, 3 starts, 2 goals, 3 assists, average rating of 7.4. He's a big player for us and he's on the bench if we need him. And last but not least, Lucas Imbert, Argentine, 21 years old. And what a player he has been for us in terms of getting a few big goals. He's not done a lot, but what he has done is got big goals, and he's kind of that X factor that, who knows, if we're getting desperate near the end and we need to mix things up in midfield, he's going to be the option there. Because, of course, of Leon's injury, I don't expect him to last the entire game because he's not match fit. So we have got options to kind of rotate around this midfield as need may be. But yeah, what a game this is going to be. It's going to be a big one. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this live com. And yeah, let's just get right into this. The referee today is Paolo Tiglavento. I did my best to pronounce his name. And yeah, let's just get straight into this. We are the home team down on paper. Lewis pretty much guaranteed to get top goal scorer in this competition. Looking at the odds, apparently we're favourites. If we look at PSG's squad just real quick, you'll see they've got players like Verratti still at the club. They've got a few other familiar names. Marquinhos is there. Lucas Moura still playing for them. They've got a few fairly old players. They've also got players like Munir. They've got some big names. Zuma's out injured for them. That's a big miss for them that we might be able to capitalise on. But yeah, they've got a very strong squad and they're not going to make things easy for us, PSG. So we're going to have to perform to our very, very best. Hopefully we can get the result we need. I was anticipating them to play with the one striker, and they have done, which is very good for us. That was one of the reasons why I was happy to play the 3-5-2. So I'm hoping we can capitalise on that. But you can see here, looking at their team, it's going to be tricky. It's a massive ask, this. But against all the odds, we've got this far. I'm going to just encourage the players, tell each and every one of them in the dressing room before this game, I do have faith in you today to come big. We are playing in our renowned red and black, and I'm hoping that today is the day we add some big silverware. There's a 50-50 chance of us coming away with it. Apparently we should be encouraging more direct passing. You know what, assistant? I'm going to just go with it. I'm going to trust my assistant, change the system. Looking at it, it looks like we're dominating at the moment early on. 60% possession, 20 minutes in. No highlights to speak of. I want this to be a memorable final. Whether or not that's because it's action-packed, whether or not that's because we just win, I don't mind. But what I don't want is a slow burner of a game. But we do win the ball there. Martinez, the right mid. Good tackle. Now can we build from the back? Suarez, Matthew Lewis, a few options ahead of him. Might have to go inside here. He's going on a run. Where's he going? I'll tell you what, PSG are sitting a lot of men deep, but Haas finds some space. Juan Carlos Leon, Matthew Lewis. Oh, was that a tackle? I think the highlight hasn't gone yet. I think there's something else to come. Haas. Matthew Lewis is there. And Begovic makes a save. A big chance there. The first clear-cut chance of the game coming 30 minutes in. Matthew Lewis missing it. He's also taken a knock but should be able to shake it off. I'm just going to stick with him. About half-time, not a lot happening, but there might be a late chance here. Sonogo whips in the ball. Cleared as far as Harayan, who gives it back to Sonogo. Suarez. Lewis. Hit that, my son. Hits it. Hits the crossbar. Rebound. And Begovic collects the rebound. And in a first half, not full of many chances, we're doing okay. We're doing okay, but that was a real chance. Oh boy. Come on, boys. You'd have to say we've been the better team, but we need to make it count. We need something to happen here to stand any chance of getting anything. We need a goal. We need a goal. I know that sounds really obvious. You need a goal to win a football match. Unless you want it to go to penalties, which I really don't want. Can we win the ball here? Right, my big header. Suarez. Go on, my son. Oh, tackled away. And now they come away with the ball. PSG probably been the weaker of the two teams so far, but it's all square still. Although Sonogo with a big run here. Matthew Lewis is the only man in the box. Cannot find him, but it comes to Batagelli. Can we rebuild again? Haas. Lewis hit that. Bang. Goes the dynamite. Matthew Lewis, 75th goal of the season. Take a bow. A nicely worked goal. It's been coming. We've been on top. And we've taken an opportunity that's come our way. It didn't look like he hit it that hard. Suarez, Haas, Matthew Lewis on his left peg. First time, just placed, cool, calm and collected. Makes it 1-0 in this final. And we are performing very, very well indeed right now. I am loving this. This is very, very promising. And you'd have to say, that goal is very much deserved. We're on the attack again here. Matthew Lewis, options in the middle. Matthew crosses it. Marquinhos will get it clear. Now Verratti coming away with the ball. Can we defend him? Munir running with the ball, making one hell of a run here. Akore, do not give away silly fouls like that. We do not need bookings. We do not need red cards. Not at a time like this. And, well, PSG have a set piece here in a fairly dangerous situation. Lucas Moura whips it in, but Harayan will clear, but only as far as Bertonli. Lucas Moura. Juan Carlos Leon makes one tackle, but comes back. And Munir's there. What a block, but Verratti scores the rebound for PSG. His 8th of the season. The initial effort was very well blocked there, but the ball did fall to Verratti. He was first to react. The ball just worked inside. A great block there by, I think it must have been Harayan or Reitmeier. It was Reitmeier, but unfortunately for us, Kouakou had already committed to the initial effort. Couldn't recover. Juan Carlos Leon looking pretty tired. Let's bring on China. Juan Carlos Leon just a little bit tired. We need to mix things up. We need to change things. But 20 minutes left, and Sonogo with a set piece here. Harayan has the ball. Can we make something happen here? We've performed the better of the two teams, although PSG definitely stepped things up in the second half. China the sub. Thread through Matthew Lewis, who scores to make it 2-1. Well, China is looking like an inspired sub right there. A finely thread ball through to Matthew Lewis, who timed his run to perfection. The initial set piece was cleared away, but we made it count. And China just lays off the ball there. Matthew Lewis on that weaker foot of his, and equally composed finishes his first goal. Very well placed there. Keeper perhaps should do a little bit better, but I'm not complaining one little bit. But 2-1. We could do with another. We're on the attack again here. Harayan, China the sub, Suarez, Lewis! Lewis scores a hat-trick! What is happening? This is mental. His 77th goal of the season. That's his 3rd hat-trick in the knockout stage. That must be some kind of Champions League record. China the sub involved in the build-up again. Suarez lays it off to Matthew Lewis, who peels off his man. And it's 3-1. It's 3-1. And now we can just look to defend a little bit and slow down the play. Just see out this game now, boys. 3-1. It's happening. I can't believe it. Matthew Lewis with another knock. But it doesn't matter. There's 30 seconds left. That is game, set and match. We have won a Champions League. I cannot believe it. What a weird season this has been. What a great performance, though, by the boys. I can't believe it. I can't quite put into words. Wow. I'm flabbergasted. Wow. I feel like that makes up for losing the league title. Matthew Lewis with a hat-trick there. Totally outperformed PSG. And I don't know what to tell you. That's crazy. Oh boy. So, people are probably wondering, I guess, what now? What now? You've won the Champions League. Well, I don't want to leave Lewis immediately. I definitely want to win the Premier League. That's got to be something I do in this save. If anything, I'd like to retain the Premier League for a few years. Maybe improve the youth facilities, getting some Lewis youngsters. But in terms of long-term things for this save, I've talked about the idea of doing a Pentagon Challenge from this save. If you don't know the Pentagon Challenge, you win all 5 Champions Leagues around the world, starting with Sunday League Rep and Unemployed. And and also no coaching qualifications, which obviously is how I started this save, with absolutely nothing, a clean slate, unemployed. So in the next few years, I'm going to stay with Lewis, I think. If there comes a point where I get a little bit bored of this save, perhaps it gets a little bit stale, my plan is, now that I've won a Champions League, is that I'll save the game with Lewis at the end of a season. I'll leave the club, try and find an alternative job in one of the other continents, and then off this save branch off into a Pentagon Challenge, whilst also potentially keeping a Lewis save going in the background from the save point where kind of it branched off into 2 separate saves. I'd be interested to know what you think of that idea down in the comments, but for now, we're not going to be leaving the club. I can't believe we've won the Champions League as we have. Mental. I'm lost for words. It's not very often I'm lost for words. I didn't know how far we'd get in this competition. I think our aim was at the first round of the knockout stages, and when we got drawn against Barcelona and we lost 5-2 in that first leg, I thought that was game over. But, well, we've done it. Matthew Lewis with 24 goals. I honestly don't know what to tell you guys. I'm bamboozled. I said at the start of the video, I think I said 500 likes. If we could get 1,000 likes, it probably won't happen, but it'd be amazing. Hopefully I'll see you guys for the end of season review. I need to go and collect myself now. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys for that one. If you have enjoyed this video, smash the like button. If you've got any comments with regards to this save, leave them down below. If you want to let me know what you think of the Pentagon Challenge idea. I tried to do it in 2013 and I failed. I never finished it. So maybe it's time to go back to that. Who knows? Let me know what you think down in the comments. And yeah, that's going to wrap things up from me, guys. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your ongoing support of this series. It isn't going to end here, not by any means. And hopefully, I'll see you guys on the next one. It is me, Jack, and I'm out. I'll talk to you guys in a bit.